Hi, welcome to another episode of the Yum Nom Vegan. Today we're going to talk about protein. It's the number one question that I get asked when I'm doing outreach is how do vegans get their protein? Protein is required by the body in order to perform such actions as regulation, structure, and function of the body tissues. Plain and simple, it's the building block of our body, and it's kind of important. What makes a protein is amino acids. There are 20 essential amino acids that make up protein. 11 of them are produced within your body. The other 9 have to come from foods that you consume. And basically, amino acids are the building blocks of our body. So there's that. A complete protein is a food or dish that contains all 9 of the essential amino acids that our body can't produce naturally. Some examples of that are plants that are complete proteins are soy. Soy has about 10 grams of protein per half cup. Also quinoa, which is an ancient grain originally farmed in Peru and other places in South America. And it has about 8 grams of protein per half cup. Also buckwheat, which is not a real common staple in the US, although it should be, it's delicious. And it has 6 grams of protein per half cup. There's also something called microprotein, which comes from a fungus. It has about 13 grams of protein per half cup, and it's used almost exclusively by a company called Quorn. It's weird, it's spelled Quorn. And they make a lot of vegetarian options, meats and such. And it has, while it has a great deal of protein in it, also Quorn is using a lot of egg whites in the production of their products. So if you're going to use Quorn products, read the labels. Get the ones that don't have egg whites because it does have a great deal of protein. It has a really wonderful texture. Some dishes that contain a complete protein would be like seitan, or wheat meat as it's called. Seitan in Japanese means complete or proper protein, more or less, roughly. And it has documented use going back to about the 6th century in all of Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, China. They've all used it. They used to use a very laborious process to make it by making dough and then washing it until all the starches fell away and all you were left with was the protein. Well, now there's a much easier way to do it. We'll get into that. That's the first recipe that I'm going to be doing probably next week. It has a whopping 20 to 22 grams of protein for about 1/3 of a cup of seitan. And it's really quite easy to make. It keeps in the refrigerator anyhow. Also, things like beans and rice. Beans and rice have 7-8 grams of protein for a cup. Any combination of legumes and grains is going to give you a complete protein. The trick is that our liver stores amino acids. And every plant on the planet has some sort of amino acid. So if you just eat a variety of different foods, you're going to get enough protein because your liver is going to store the amino acids and deliver the complete package that your body needs to regrow tissues and repair damage, things like that. If you're worried about vegans getting enough protein, some of the greatest herbivores on this planet have huge muscle masses. Just look at the cows that a lot of people are eating. Those muscles that are cut down and packaged in pretty little packaging in the market, that came from plants. That cow ate nothing but plants, and that's how it developed that muscle. Also, when you look at gorillas that share 98% of our DNA and have almost the exact same digestive system as we do, if you look at their diets, they eat roots, shoots, nuts, and fruits with the occasional termite colony thrown in for, I don't know, whatever. But they seem to have no problem growing big, huge muscles and thriving on that diet. There's no reason why we can't either. So if you're worried about losing muscle mass on a vegan diet, don't. There are some very well-renowned bodybuilders out there that thrive on nothing but a vegan diet. Here's just a few examples. The first guy that you saw was Nimai Delgado. He, in fact, has never eaten meat in his life. It doesn't look like he's starving to death. It doesn't look like he's lacking for protein at all. So don't worry, just keep eating a varied diet, all sorts of different colors, different types of plants. Don't forget your grains. Carbs are not the enemy. Matter of fact, they're required. We'll talk about that in another episode. So if you like my video today, please give it a thumbs up. I could really use the support. Subscribe. There's a button down there that says subscribe. Click it. There's a little bell next to it if you want to get notifications of my next video. I'd really appreciate it. Remember, compassion is badass. Stay vegan.